Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our Disco Elysium play. We are finally on this island and ready to explore it. A makeshift bridge, the bombs were powerful enough to break the foundation. But the rusted train trails off into the ocean.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
This leads to the depot in Land's End.
Ah, yes, so it seems.
What do you think it was used for?
For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
Cool.
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
Lock it from whom?
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
Now, I might be able to run, but I'm still gonna not test Harry. He's got some gunshots. Let's go nice and slow here. There's a lingering trace of mazut in the air. Attention, inflammable. Some fuel has leaked out of the barrel. Black, viscous. Okay. Wow, new music track here.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea.
What's that flutter?
The flock of quail departs. Now more than 100 meters away. 102, 105.
Underneath the flutter?
On the islet, there is almost no wind, just the light movement of air through the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline. Long dried leaves chafing against each other, like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of some major work.
To the west.
A silent hiss, sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree.
To the east.
The faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand, the low tide filtered through its grains, a bird tending to its feathers.
Ahead?
A low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, through its ancient slits and cracks, resonating, hollow. A big building.
Beyond that, further north.
Air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Absolute silence. Reeds motionless. Bulrushes motionless.
Below the silence?
Called the Mamadakwa.
Oh my goodness. I gotta get my recording. Kim.
Yes?
Have you noticed how quiet it is?
I have. Is that why we're stopping?
Wait, I have to listen to one more
The
thing.
lieutenant nods in silence.
Open your eyes. Alright. It's the bird. The barrel says ICM. You see a little star with specks on it. Warm blood trickles down your armpit. The ligature is off. It's nothing. Oh god. The little birch from the coin-operated viewer. Still holding on. No way to get up there. The stairs are gone.
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
Kim, what's the ICM?
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army. The Black and White Army of the Revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
It sounds like the RCM.
It does.
Why?
The RCM may descend from the ICM.
May?
It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. It's going to be hard to say them. Carrying around all that weight on a busted crutch is making you pant.
What I'm hearing is we descend from the glorious Revolutionary Army.
There were all sorts of groups and groupuscules back then. It doesn't really matter.
He bows to inspect the barrel. A white star. Point to the star on the label.
No, an upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
Are those speck stars too?
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the face in the sea.
Looks old. What's it still doing here?
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
Finished thought. I can't get down there from here to this. Maybe if I go in here, I come out down there. Be careful not to fall. The cliff face looks steep. Yeah, it does. Alright, let's see what's in here. There's actually a lot in here. Is this the gun? This was an armament rest. Twin cannons were attached here. Medium distance, large caliber. Oh, I see. I'm up on the railing. I thought I was down below. I didn't see my perspective at first. Wow, look at all this. Books, mostly fantastique and historical fiction. Is that a bed? Dishes stained with sauce and fire. A survivor's kitchen. There's me. I mean, Mazov.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft-cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracal blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
How recently?
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses, no longer able to hear yourself speak.
Uh-oh.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
I don't know if I need to. Not now.
Yes, anytime. If you need a rest later, it's okay by me.
You don't have to be a hero.
Okay. Well, can I look at it more, though? Or is it just rest?
The greasy old...
The offer still stands.
Okay. Now, there were some other options for inspecting it, but it went... Now, those are gone. You see candles planted on a broken rangefinder.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized.
Sift through them.
Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures, popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive? Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
I can boost my conceptualization to make this check easier. A moth-bitten bed sheet keeps the wind out. What's this? It is a army surplus winter scarf. Well, it helps me with an arrow or shirt. Now, if I were to look at my clothes and just see conceptualization, nothing on me is giving me a plus. I think I do have something that gives me a slight bonus. Yeah, this. I have a jacket too, I think. Maybe I lied. Yeah, I lied. I have this, though. Oh, no, it is a jacket. It's not a shirt. Alright.
Soft covers, serialized fantastique, and oh yes, under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory, that is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly light reading.
Look, Jim, powerful communist theory. Rigorous and truthful.
Ouzia. I agree. Humanitarian sciences. It stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Havashul West.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him. It's making a strong comeback. After all,
Kids dig this stuff. There was plenty in the students' room at the apartment building.
That one student did have some, yes. It's still out of the ordinary.
the little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous entertainment covering them.
Critical theory books. What do you think this means?
Whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interests.
Interesting.
Indeed.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Where do they lead?
Downstairs, somewhere?
What kind of generator is this?
Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout.
Right.
The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter.
The lieutenant pauses. Something seems to be pecking at the edge of his concentration. He gives you a sideways look before adding,
Long and cold.
Okay. Tap on the side.
a hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
What does this mean, a generator here?
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher.
That is his idea of a joke.
I am. This generator proves the universe is material. Kick it. Hurt myself. Hilarious.
A small agony. Minuscule bones may have fractured, but it proves...
I didn't mean
the
to kick it
point.
that hard. Ouch.
He nods approvingly. He even smiles.
I meant, why is it here?
Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy.
Maybe.
The wind outside picks up suddenly, with a faint howl. Inside, it's warm.
Leave. So it's somebody who's interested in communist critical theory who has been staying here from where the shot presumably was taken, has electrical skills. Well, we got some magnesium just in case we need it. Okay, and then what's this? Oh. We got some money and some more magnesium. This great blast door must weigh over 10 tons. Rust peels off of it. Which way do I want to go now? Let me see. Okay. Careful, these stairs have collapsed. How do I get to that? I'm following Harry. He knows how. Oh, right. Before we go to the door, we can go under the bridge.
Green paint flicks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
Run your fingers across the keyboard.
The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
What is it then?
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here.
What does it do?
Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. Sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function as a radio computer.
Push light interior.
Happens.
Slide radio dial.
The dial slides under the glass, silently. You make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words, Feld Insula, are written on the band.
Insular. This is an off-air radio computer, I believe, used for military communications.
It's an air-gapped system, an off-air military model. Its circuits are nearly impossible to bend, i.e., it cannot be remote-controlled.
Open.
We need to restore power before using this, officer. The generator, it didn't look like there was fuel in
Well, we
it.
found a big fuel
We should look around
area.
outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it.
He looks into the dim light to his right.
The boat engine.
Or we could get some from the boat engine.
But officer, then we would have to swim back to the mainland. Let's just look around, okay?
We're using it.
The console stands by.
You heard me, Kim. The hatch is jammed shut. Oh. They keep giving me morale stuff. I'm scared. A firing slit. You can't see inside. Alright. Well, we know that there's fuel back. It must have been a direct hit to take out such a huge chunk. I'm going to go back in and try to get the fuel from the little shack that we found previously. Water rushes below. Far down below. Okay. Well, let's see if I can open this. I'm sure it's going to tell me it's closed.
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small.
What's on the other side?
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
How do we open it?
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He looks at the door, then at bigger brother, then at the lock.
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
You're right. We opened the big one. Do you see the controls?
Yeah, on the console just southeast of
That's right.
here. Remember? Let's look around. Getting the blast door open seems like the best plan.
You're right about that, buddy. I might need my flashlight while I'm in here. You never know. Here we go. The barrel is run empty. Aww. I smelled the fuel, so I was like feeling really good, but now we know for sure that's bust. Okay. Distant sound of cargo ships. Signal horns echo on the water. Okay. Let's see what we can find over here. It's chilly. These glaciers. Hopefully it's just snow. Ice would be more than I trust Harry to be able to climb. The pain in your pelvis makes you wince, then you continue. Inside of the fortress, you make out the console and blast door. Alright, so I will take a rest at some point. Especially, obviously, if I take any damage. Oh, here's some fuel. And another bed. Wow, it's worth a lot. A weathered artillery map showing coordinates in the Bay of Revachol. An old medicine cabinet, newly stocked with Dramamine. Oh, great. Well, now there's some health.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
So maybe the sniper laid on this mattress.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
Inspect the mattress.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns. And an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Pick one out of the can.
The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri. Contemporary Revacholians prefer Druan, a local blend from the southern islands, or Astra, the legendary cigarette from Grad. Tio Moteri is favored by older men for its paper filter tips, sweet smell, and added tar.
Like the ones we found at Land's End, remember?
I may have been wrong when I said it wasn't important. This means the same person could have visited both locations. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside, though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also be a smoking spot.
I don't know why, but I just keep coming back to Renee. Like, it's an older guy smoking this old brand. He dies mysteriously. I don't know, we'll see.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Touch the concrete first.
Quite old and grimy, from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
Look through the hole.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar.
On the left?
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B.
On the right? But then again, it doesn't, like, the reading material isn't what Renee would read. Is it I'm just suspecting everybody at this point, like the Sunday friend or his friend?
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10, the doomed commercial area.
And between?
The box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. You see a small fleck of white on the rooftop, the upstairs window of Glasia's room, in the rain, reflecting light.
This is appropriate. Mother F.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
More than that.
Kim, with a pair of binoculars, I'd be able to see inside the room.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. I think we have it. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Heck yeah. He pats you on the back. 3 small pats in a row.
Affirmative.
Booyah, master cop work. Finally.
In our defense, nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere.
6 people are dead. We could have prevented it.
Don't beat yourself up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
That's true. He looks north over the fortification and adds,
The lieutenant pauses. Regret comes over him.
We will make up for it. Here. I feel it.
could the shooter still be here?
Where?
He looks behind his back. Right here, pointed to mattress, like me. On this island.
He does not answer, just nods. With his back hunched, he looks around once more and says,
We should move now.
Turn away. I'm gonna heal up. Can I click on that chain? Oh yeah, I can get there. I'm getting all the money I can from these greenies. The winch is broken. Rust has eaten what remains of the chain. Alright. We're going to go back. We're going to make this happen.
This old cylindrical generator.
Pour that
waits.
fuel.
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
Pull it.
The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Alright, we got this thing going. So, I've got a bunch of thoughts that we're working on. I could raise stuff right now. Look how high my pain threshold can go. I don't know what did this, but it can go incredibly high. Like, do I want to spend these points now, or do I want to save them for some kind of check? I could save it, and then, because I'm so close to the end, I could do something abhorrent, which would be, to, like, save scum it on a red check, you know, like the situation at the bar, or the Whirling in Rags, rather. To prevent something disastrous from happening, I could be like, oh, I'm going to need this skill, and just level it up a ton to give myself the best shot.
A dim golden glow animates the console. Faint, like a ghost light.
It's on. Turn emergency open.
Automatic boot.
Could this open the blast door?
I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
Hit it.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
Sweet.
After you.
What's there?
I don't know.
What if we get into another fight?
Don't worry. I have a gun.
Man, yeah, that's right, he had that crack shot. I also have a gun.
I know. It was not easy to acquire.
No, it wasn't. Maybe I should have pushed the other buttons.
Dim golden glow.
Can I do the light?
lighting
There we
in the
go.
room turns on with a sizzle. A dim ambient.
Got the
orange.
lights on. Hit that radio.
Dial slides under.
Insular.
It's an air.
Alright, so that's not going to work, but I wondered if turning on the lights would, you know, reveal anything new, or I'm just going to check really quickly to see if that's the case. It doesn't appear to have, but, you know, it's easier. Alright, so yes, we could get into a fight, and he gave me the clue, you know, like we could get into a fight, so I'm just going to save it. my gosh, are these Maybells everywhere? They look like it. Small white flowers blossom around you. Indeed. Right? A rubber dinghy. It's deflated. Broken. Alright, that's back where I came from. Okay. There's the fire guy. Oh boy. Is he the shooter? Well, it looks like he has a giant rifle. So maybe I should just realize that that's the case.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp.
Are you the fire guy?
The what now? I can't hear you.
Did you recently tell 2 kids to put out their fire, 2 twins?
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position. Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
I fueled the generator, then used the console.
I should have burned that console down.
How'd you know I was coming?
Boat engine. On the water.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
What make of rifle is that exactly?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
Southeast Samoran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samuran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
The commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the board.
I'm with the police. And it's either I need you to put the gun down, or you could keep the gun but keep it down, not one move. I need you to put it down, dude.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
I mean, I don't have a good... I should have put points into authority or worn my clothing. But I'm going to try it anyway.
It's a good line.
We failed.
But your voice slips on, Commander, producing a little squeak. Sounds like you're afraid.
A big-time operator of the pederast army. How about I keep it, huh? Hand it over to a real killer. A Briscard.
The lieutenant aims his pistol square at the man's forehead.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down carelessly, then looks at it lying there.
Like an amputated limb in the sand. He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a song.
What did you say?
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
The present.
The present to be afraid and cold.
The old man pulls back the hood of his plastic cape and looks up into the sky. It's blue-gray, the same color as the sea. Those words.
Real music. It's La Revacholière, you shit-licking bougie dog. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites.
You need to address that remark.
What's La Revolutionnaire?
It is the anthem of the world revolution. One of 3. In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favorites of history. And in Sinyao, it was some Samaran shit, I guess.
How does it go, the song?
How did it go?
He looks at his gun on the ground and shakes his head slowly.
Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's gone now.
He waves erratically with his hand, annoyed that he can't remember. A little tremor passes through him. It was dear to him. He resents forgetting it.
Pick up the gun.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire.
Inspect it closer.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
It's as he said.
Worn, personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it, sir?
No response from the old man. The plastic cape around his shoulders rustles in a small bout of wind.
This uses jacketed ammunition, 4.46.
Jacketed, military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good for hitting something that's very, very far away.
He says, mostly to the old man.
As he speaks, he stresses every word. He's liking this.
Stow the gun.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him to get a confession. In time.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
You've been here for 43 years?
No. I've been on other islands too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
That's steadfast.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't.
You couldn't give up.
He nods. But he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
He looks across the water.
Always waiting. Always.
For what?
For her to return.
Uh-oh. You mean that humanist lady?
Her who?
Dolores Day?
Girl child. Revolution.
Girl Child Revolution?
Always.
I dare not dream. Nothing in history is guaranteed, but revolution is still a possibility. There we go.
No. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
So that's why he's the deserter.
Once a deserter, always a deserter.
I have done everything a man can do. What have you done?
We keep people alive. We help them survive, whatever the ideological situation, day in and day out.
Survive? For what?
Wow. So, like, everything's pointing to this guy. The game even told us that we'll get a confession out of him. But we have a lot of talking to do. And we will get into that next time. This is a good place to stop, as we have many, many questions left for this guy who's been living on the islands for so many years. Everyone, we're coming to the end. I feel it. I mean, at least I think so. There could be another twist, but I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll check you in the next one. Take care.